Following the tornado's surprise attack on the concert in the previous episode, it continued sweeping through the city like a demolition crew. Upon waking, Mark found himself pinned to a 135-foot water tower and urgently dialed 911. When the fire department arrived, they froze in shock. The tower's leg supports had tilted and were on the verge of collapse. The captain shouted orders to reinforce the structure while measuring critical data. The tower's height exceeded the ladder truck's maximum reach. In desperation, they spotted a crane by the roadside. Crew members violently overhauled the engine, and the captain maneuvered the basket to lift Mark skyward for rescue.
Cap, hold her steady!
The team reported Mark had been impaled by rebar through his waist and needed immediate medical attention. More critically, radar showed a 35-knot storm hurtling toward them like a cannonball, leaving them just 300 seconds. The crew swiftly cut the railings. As the storm closed in, the tower teetered on collapse. Crew members below braced desperately. As lightning ripped across the sky, Mark suddenly called for prayer. Fists clenched, they recited their invocation amid the howling storm. The next instant, the tempest abruptly reversed course and retreated. Just as they breathed a sigh of relief, a bolt flew loose. As the water tower collapsed, the crew leaped toward the basket. 26,000 gallons of water poured down, crashing directly onto the crew below. Then came the crew's response over the radio. They had successfully completed this perilous rescue. Firefighters grabbed their hoses ready to extinguish the blaze, only to find the hydrant vanished. Faced with a burning car and an empty hydrant connection, the crew dragged hoses 800 feet to a water source. After extinguishing the fire, footage revealed two masked thieves had forcibly ripped out the hydrant, their license plates heavily obscured. Veteran firefighter Chris Fair declared, "If we can't catch the thieves, we'll dismantle the entire fencing operation." However, the scrapyard owner put on an Oscar-worthy performance, insisting he'd never do anything illegal. Chris turned and unveiled his fishing lure. He'd installed a tracker on a retired fire hydrant and placed it on the street as bait. When the tracking signal locked onto the scrapyard, firefighters and federal agents arrived, but the owner still insisted, "I have the scrap documentation." Until Chris raised the beeping tracker, then the boss froze like a statue. Forging government documents plus interstate fencing? That's a full federal meal ticket. Across town, Lisa was enjoying holiday cheer with her niece Faith.
2, 1, go, 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 go. That's it, that's it. Yes, Faith, yes, that's it.
Her trembling hands dialed 911, triggering the vibration mode. Dispatcher Cami immediately video called her to assess the situation. "Do you have any blankets or something?" Cami asked. Lisa found a tablecloth. Bystanders rushed to help, preparing to pull the girl out. But this group of well-meaning people coordinated about as well as a freshly dismantled Lego set. Cami immediately offered Plan B. She instructed everyone to link arms. Lisa instantly understood, transforming into a field commander. Strangers instantly formed a human cushion. When Faith plummeted like she'd been tossed by God, they caught her impact. No ladder truck, no airbag. This time, they relied solely on their elbow-linked human chain to complete this civilian rescue operation. 6-year-old Emma was in critical condition, yet her mother, Lisa, frantically blocked paramedics from transporting her to the nearest hospital. En route, Emma suddenly regained consciousness.
I don't like the way it smells.
Just as Stella was about to press further, medical staff forcibly interrupted her. Stella suspected child abuse. Subsequent investigations revealed Emma had been shuttled between 2 hospitals within a month. Doctors later confirmed their suspicions.
Her mom told us she had celiac disease.
Mom told us she was doing some painting and left the turpentine out by mistake.
Lisa had falsified medical records to switch hospitals frequently, attempting to cover her crimes across different institutions. Stella, enraged, stormed into the Child Services Center, yet bureaucrats refused to file a case. When Stella confronted them, Lisa threatened, "I'll make sure you lose your job." The captain held up the complaint letter with a bitter smile, stating she had violated procedural justice. Stella instantly plummeted to the lowest point of her career. The next day, the family called the police again, this time because Lisa had swallowed an entire bottle of antidepressants in a failed suicide attempt. Lisa's husband stormed in, furiously accusing Stella of spreading rumors. He claimed his wife had attempted suicide because of the paramedics' slander. Stella faced suspension and investigation. The captain demanded the union lawyer fight tooth and nail to save her. Just as all hope seemed lost, Mark arrived at the door with Emma. The little girl revealed the truth.
She made me drink it.
Lisa had been secretly poisoning Stella all along. It was Stella's courage that gave her the strength to fight back. In that moment, meddling became the beacon illuminating the depths of hell. Heart-wrenching cries for help echoed. Firefighters looked up and froze in shock. Some genius driver had parked their car like a rooftop exhibit. Turns out the driver, desperate for a spot, floored it and crashed through the wall. Even worse, falling debris had smashed the car below. The female driver lay unconscious, her friend bleeding profusely, while deadly packages kept tumbling from above. Firefighters dared not act rashly. The captain swiftly ordered a tow truck for rescue. Paramedics directed the woman to remove her scarf to staunch the driver's bleeding. Another team raced to the rooftop, where the car teetered precariously on the edge. The deputy captain strapped and charged forward. As the vehicle swayed violently, the driver inside was terrified out of his wits. The deputy captain smashed the rear window, slid inside, and pulled the driver out. A flawlessly executed sequence. Below, the fire truck's chains clanked taut. Just as the two men leaped from the vehicle, the car plummeted to the ground. Firefighters immediately deployed hydraulic cutters, swiftly removing the door to rescue both passengers and the female driver. As the driver was hoisted onto a stretcher, the monitor emitted steady beeps. Suddenly, frogs began raining from the sky, staining the entire skyline in eerie green. Chaos erupted as the amusement park instantly transformed into a Resident Evil movie set. Mark, a passerby, was so terrified by the scene he immediately dialed 911. But just as he spoke, a frog fell from the sky, landing squarely in his mouth and lodging in his throat. Firefighters rushed to the scene to find the ground overrun by frogs. They were stunned by the sight before them. They knew a storm was coming. But where had all these frogs come from? A female firefighter speculated that a tornado must have swept through a pond, carrying the frogs along. The entire amusement park was now in utter chaos. They couldn't dwell on it. They had to find the man choking on a frog first. Mark's daughter called out to them, saying her father was choking to death. The medic rushed over to examine him, shining a flashlight down his throat. She confirmed a frog was lodged there. She tried to extract the frog with forceps, but its slimy body proved impossible to grasp. To make matters worse, the frog slid deeper into his throat. With no other option, the firefighters resorted to the Heimlich maneuver. 1, 2, 3. Finally, they dislodged that cunning frog. Meanwhile, the captain discovered the ticket seller trapped inside the booth. They rushed to rescue him, only for the ticket seller to insist firefighters needed to buy tickets to enter the park. But just then, hail pelted down from the sky, shattering the windows. The firefighters instantly formed a human shield, shielding the ticket seller beneath them. When sunlight pierced the green canopy, the disaster finally passed. Lisa was strangled by the zipline, convulsing wildly like a suspended marionette as the rope tightened relentlessly. Deputy Captain Ryder immediately decided to rescue her via the zipline. He climbed the truss to secure the anchor point below, while teammates sprinted to relay and fix the second anchor. The moment the zipline snapped taut, Lisa had gone limp as a ragdoll.
All right, cruise about 10 more feet, hurry! Faster!
Laird swiftly locked his legs around Lisa, deftly severed the rope, and hooked her onto a safety line. With seamless teamwork, both landed safely. The medical team flooded the scene, pressing an oxygen mask directly onto Lisa's face, a pit stop-like precision. Thanks to the timely intervention, Lisa's pulse returned. 17-year-old Karen's spine curved into a parenthesis. Since birth, she could only walk in a 90-degree bowed posture. The only time she could look others in the eye was when seated.
What are you all staring at?
Whenever Karen caught others' strange glances, her nerves trembled as if pierced by needles. This rare genetic disorder ravaged her spine, organs, and even her breathing like a curse. After 2 failed spinal surgeries, her ribs now violently crush her lungs. Just as Karen braced for another routine rib removal, neurosurgery maestro Derek arrived with a Bible-like declaration.
You're up for it. I think I could significantly help with the spinal curvature.
By help, you mean what exactly?
I mean, I think I can get you standing up straight.
When the doctor announced plans to remove the entire curved section of her spine and reconstruct it with titanium alloy, Karen's mother nearly fainted. She dared not take such a risk, but Karen's eyes blazed with fire. This walking corpse of a body, even death would be a release.
I'm in.
Finally, a chance at rebirth. Yet the astronomical $200,000 surgery fee shattered hope once more. The insurance company refused coverage, citing the procedure's experimental nature. Yet fate suddenly rolled the dice. A woman had just inherited a massive fortune from her deceased fiancé. She anonymously covered the entire cost. Hours later, the spine twisted for 17 years was finally reshaped into a proud, straight line with titanium alloy.